Hi, welcome to yet another episode from AR Pro Academy. This is Ganesh Kumar and I am going to discuss sales or selling today. So before we go to actual sales, let us see how sales has evolved over the centuries. The first known sale was through barter system. And I think most of us know what is a barter system. People produced different things and they exchanged their produce for what they wanted for their day-to-day life. Then came the actual selling. The first known sale, as per record, is the snake oil salesman or the snake oil selling. It was not a real sales, it was a fraudulent way of selling. The salesman sold some kind of an oil, making people believe that that was a cure for anything and everything. Your knee pain, headache, for everything. Even today you can find these kind of salespeople on roadside, or we call them quacks, selling oil, peacock oil, that was very famous during our younger days on the roadside. They said that it is a cure for your body pain, body ache, anything and everything. That was the first known salesman as per the records. Then came the pyramid sale formulated by NCR, that is National Cash Register. That was the first known machine where you can find the new variations of those things in the supermarket and all, how the cash is accounted for in those companies. NCR was the first company who made the first formal training module also. And their pyramid model was something like they sold the machine to a very popular or a very important person in a city, and he in turn made the machine more popular to other people. Today we can compare it to something like the MLM of Amway, something like that, which is probably originated from this pyramid selling. Then came the trust-based. That means the credibility of the salesman was taken into consideration, because during that point there was no information about the product except what the salesman told. The product information or product details or whatever the salesman told was accepted. So the credibility of the salesman was very important those days. Then came the science of selling, which was even adopted by Ford. What actually happened was, the science of selling was even we have heard during our younger days, people, they thought the appearance of a person or a high forehead indicated that that person is an intellectual. I even remember today people, they comb their hair backward, making your high forehead to give an intellectual appearance to other people. So this system was adopted by Ford. That means it was easy to sell to an intellectual person who understood everything very fast. Then in 1929, the Great Depression started. That was an era where people really suffered starting from the US, people suffered across the world, and it continued till the 1930s. And the mood selling or mood based, and the people who sold Bible and this kind of religious material and all thought, they looked at the mood of the person before selling, and it really worked during that time, especially because of the depression, of the Great Depression. Then a real twist happened when the name brand came into existence. The brand selling came into existence after that. Branding itself is a really big topic which can be discussed separately, how branding came into existence and then how branding is helping to make your product stand out in a crowded market. Today we have in automotive itself, in India itself, we have got more than 15 different brands: Toyota, Maruti, Ford, Renault. A lot of products are available. How this branding came into existence, this can be discussed separately in a different episode. Along with branding, advertising also came into existence. because that was the way how people communicated what the brand stands for. Then came the psychology of selling. That means some kind of a psychological analysis of the prospect or your potential customer was done to pitch in the product. So since advertising was already started, along with the psychological analysis, the people started using advertising as well. Probably in those days, advertising was done through maybe billboards or print media or posters. All these kinds came into existence. Then came the most important thing, relationship selling. The very famous book of the 1930s, to be precise in 1936, Dale Carnegie. The book is even relevant today. How to Win Friends and Influence. That was the name of Influence People. That was the name of the book. Millions of copies of this book were sold, and even today people buy and read this book. So that how to build a relationship, because people believe that every sale or every transaction happens depending on a relationship that you create with your potential or with the other person. So you can, if you are interested in this to learn more, do buy this book and then start reading so that you can have the best relationship with your potential customers. Then came the barrier selling, not very useful. So I am not going into details of that. Then the sell method. The sell method is people started talking about the benefit of the product. Today, in fact, we use BAFing or fabbing, that is feature, advantage, benefit, or the reverse of it. So in the sell method, they started talking to the customer about the benefit of the product. Then came the ARC method, ask, recommend, and close. This was actually useful in cross-selling or increasing the volume in consumer items, which even today in FMCG, people are using it. FMCG products for Procter & Gamble or even Unilever, the salesmen sit with the distributor and then start talking, and then they continue to, or then they keep on talking and then increase the volume or offtake of the product. Then in the 50s came the formula selling, where a sales presentation was done to the customer, and then along with the customer in the buyer's journey at different stages, the salesperson helps the customer in completing his journey, understanding his need, and then take him forward till closing or winning the deal. Then came what is prevalent even today, AIDA. A, that is awareness. That means the awareness is created for the customer, then an interest in the product, then you generate a desire. The customer desires for the product, and then again the call for action, that is for the final closing of the product. The AIDA is even popular even today in sales, and then many sales organizations or trainers, they use this AIDA methodology to popularize sales training. In 1968, Xerox, the very famous photocopier company, in fact Xerox has become synonymous with photocopying. They came with the idea of need-based selling, that is, identify a need and satisfy that need. In fact, for a long time this used to be the definition for marketing. When you ask people what is marketing, you identify a need or a want, or convert the need into a want and satisfy that need. That used to be the definition for marketing. And then shortly after that, they came up with another tool called PSS, that is professional selling skill. So along with this need-based selling and then PSS, that is professional selling skills, they started training people or even their organizations or distributors and dealers to make the selling as a profession or a professional tool. Then in the 80s, the spin selling came. That again, spin selling or solution selling, identifying a problem and then providing a solution to the problem. Spin selling is popular even today. For many salespeople, what they do is they first try to identify a problem or a pain, And then it is also, that's why it is also called solution. You provide a solution for the problem experienced by the customer. Then in the later subsequently the customer centric, where the total focus was on the customer, completely on the customer, where we started believing that the customer is the king. So everything was, whatever you did was with the total focus on the customer. That was called the customer centric. That is also practiced even today for everything. When you believe that the customer is the king, you do everything for the customer to make a deal or make a transaction or to win that deal. Then towards the new millennium, by 2000, all the above, that means whatever we have discussed today, a little bit of everything came into existence, and then people started talking about again the solution for various things. And then the latest trend in selling is the challenger selling. The challenger selling is for a true professional salesman. He is not really worried about how to, or he is not really worried about losing a deal. What he does is he finds an insight for the customer which the customer did not know. In fact, he challenges or he creates a disruption of customer thinking, and he tells the customer, this is what you need. He is bold enough, he challenges the customer, and then he debates with the customer, proving that his way of finding a solution for whatever pain or problem he is facing is the answer, and then he makes a deal. So with all these things together, in fact, if you are able to understand a little bit and then grasp a little bit of from all the above, that's what I call you can become a professional salesman. So in the automobile industry, in fact, we come across different sales strategies being used, all linked to a sales process. Sales process also have changed recently. So how it has changed during the pandemic, and then how things will be in the new normal, all these things we can discuss in the coming days. Thank you.